Hi guys, Freddy here, welcome back to the desktop for another retro RPG. And you'll have to pardon any camera mistakes this week, because not only is it a new camera, but the camera's cranked up so high because this week's object is so large that I can barely see the screen. So I'll have difficulty putting things in frame. But anyway, this week I would like to present this. Space Crusade by MB Games and Games Workshop. This was a companion piece to HeroQuest, and where HeroQuest is kind of set in the Warhammer fantasy universe, Space Crusade's set in the Warhammer 40k universe. So you've got Space Marines, you've got Genestealers, and you've probably got the first appearance of Necrons here, although they're called androids, but we'll get onto that later. And it's a simplified version of Warhammer 40k sort of battles, the Marines against various types of aliens, for kids. And it's a great game. I've played this with my kids loads and loads. It's getting on a bit in age. This came out in 1990, so that's when I bought this copy, and various parts have broken over the years, because it is a bit finicky. But again, I'll come on to that later. Let's flip over to the back of the box. The corner's torn, so I'm trying not to let it fall apart. Enlist with the Space Marines and enter the fiercest combat mankind has ever faced. Forgotten starships infested with chaos, drift in the warp. Lost for thousands of years, they have now returned, corrupted by chaos. Aboard these silent alien hulks, the Space Marines battle to save humanity. Assault squads search the darkened corridors, seeking their deadly foe. Only the bravest return from fighting the hordes of chaos. Will you be one of them? Space Crusade contains 50 finely crafted Citadel miniatures with over 30 optional weapons. These superb miniatures are unique to Space Crusade. We've got sort of text there where Marines are coming into contact. Each game sends the Space Marines on a new mission. The Marine players must choose their weapons carefully before entering the alien starship. Each has a squad of 4 Space Marines and a Space Marine commander with whom to fight the aliens. One player controls the aliens. He must try to destroy the Space Marines. He has many aliens to command, as well as the mighty Dreadnought, a machine of war more formidable than any Space Marine. Victory comes to the bravest and most skillful commanders. Failure brings nothing. Success will bring Imperial honors and the exalted rank of Captain Seniors. Contents: 50 finely detailed Citadel miniatures, 32 blip tokens, 12 rank badges, 6 honor badges, 1 alien control panel, 24 doors with bases, 6 special combat dice, 3 marine reference charts, 32 reinforcement counters, 1 primary mission token, 1 secondary mission token, 4 marks of chaos, 4-piece game board with walls, 3 marine docking boards with airlocks, a set of fully illustrated, easy-to-learn rules, 3 commander scanners with adjustable slides, 64 full-color playing cards with special equipment, 24-page mission manual with 12 missions to play, and advanced rules. And it's got all that. There's some really interesting features, but the miniatures are the high point. So let's get into the box, and we'll talk about things as we go on. So, opening up the lid, trying to center it again. Oops. Put that to the side. Up. Inside, we have assembly instructions. So, telling you how to put the miniatures together. Basically, most of them are single piece, just slot into the base. The Dreadnought has legs which attach to the body and then slot into the base, and slots for weapons. The Marines have their backpacks to clip on and a weapon that goes on the front. They have a range of different weapons you can choose. Your commander has the backpack and different weapons which attach. Genestealers, the arms slot on and go onto the base. The reference panel has sides which clip on. The doors have bases. Control panel clips together very nicely. And the board itself, you assemble differently for different missions, but we'll come back to that. In the box we have 2 mission books. Why 2 mission books? Because I have bought the Mission Dreadnought expansion, and all the parts are in here. I'm afraid I threw away its box at the time, so this is very much a mixture of everything. And the rulebook itself, but we'll come back to those. we have the 4 segments of the map. Now, in the basic version, the segments get put together 4 bits lined up. But you can make almost any shape with them. So they will clip together in an L shape or weird S shapes or that. But we'll see those in the missions. We'll come back to those. I'm saying that a lot. We have the cards, which tell the Marine players what they've got. Marines with bolters can move 6 squares. Marines with heavy weapons can move 4 squares. Commanders may always move 6 squares. Commander weapons, if they've got a bolt pistol or a power axe, they roll 2 red dice for hand-to-hand combat, 2 white dice for firing. If they've got a power glove and power sword, for hand-to-hand combat, they roll 2 red and 2 white. They have no ranged combat. Heavy bolter, hand-to-hand combat, 2 white, 2 red for firing. On the other side, we have the marine weapons. So, assault cannon can fire in a line at all targets, and they fire 2 red dice. Missile launcher kills everything within a room, a 9 square box. 2 red dice. Plasma gun may go in a single line, and 2 red dice. And the bolter just has 2 white dice, and then hand-to-hand combat is 2 white dice. And we should have 3 of those cards. I don't know where the other one's gone. It'll be in here somewhere. We have the docking tunnels. So these attach on the maps. So in the map, if it shows that the Marines are entering through the green room here, then the docking tunnel attaches and the Marine players start in the tunnel. So we have some of those. We have some divider sections which go between the sections of maps, providing just 2 entrances between them. We should have 4 of those, and we do. And they have sort of technological doors. I'll move those out of the way. But going on to a weird Giga-esque molten format, because these are ships which have been lost in the warp. In fact, I've not really detailed that, have I? So the plot of the game is that an enormous starship has come out of hyperspace, the warp as it is in the 40k universe. And because it's been in the realm of chaos, which is warp space, things have happened to this ship. So Marines have gone on board to clear it out before it lands on a planet or corrupts one of the Imperial planets. And that's the plot of the game. Your Marines going in to reclaim parts of this giant ship. Now, if that sounds familiar at all because you've played Space Hulk, it's basically exactly the same plot. Space Hulk is large ships have turned up and they're filled with Genestealers. Space Crusade adds in a lot of other species and simplifies the rules a bit. But basically it's the same. The Marine player controls a squad of Marines moving around the map. The opponent player controls the monsters also moving around the map. It's trying to stop the Marines. We have the Marine weapons from the add-on, where we've got fusion guns, conversion beams, las cannons, and tarantula cannons. And we've got the ordinary ones there. We have the alien instruction board. So we can see Orks can move 6 squares. They have an armor value of 1. They fire with 2 dice and hand-to-hand 2 white dice. Chaos Marines also move 6. Or 4 if they've got a heavy weapon, armor value of 2, fire 2 dice, hand-to-hand 2 white. Chaos Commander, 6 squares, armor value 2, fire 2 red, hand-to-hand 2 white. The Dreadnought moves 4 squares, has armor value of 4, has 2 heavy weapons, plus 2 white dice for firing, because it's got sort of chin guns. Hand-to-hand, it rolls 2 red and 2 white. The androids move 4 squares, have an armor value of 2, fire with 3 white, hand-to-hand 2 red, so they're quite deadly. Genestealers move 8 squares, armor value of 3, they have no ability to fire, but they have 2 red dice for hand-to-hand, so they are absolutely swarmingly fast creatures. And the Gretchen move 8 squares, have no armor value, fire 2 white dice, hand-to-hand 1 white dice. So they're very disposable grunts. They move quickly, but any hit will take them. We have other parts from the add-ons. Oh, there's the final card. corridors and things so you can make it. Various doors to show which rooms are closed off. So if I go back to a board, we can show that that door's closed by placing one of the doors there, and then when it's been searched, you take the door away and it's opened. We have the commander's monitors. So they put any awards they get into these slots. They show which weapons the Marines are carrying by putting a peg into the board. We should have a bunch of pegs in this bag, but we'll come back to those. And we can show their commander's health and how many points they've earned, showing their progress to victory. And we have 3 of those boards. Now, amongst the pieces in here, we have the Marines themselves. There's a Marine holding an ordinary bolter. And if I am very, very careful to wiggle this out, no, it doesn't want to budge. It's very slow because these are very old and very sensitive. I don't want to break any more than have been broken. There. You can see, hopefully the camera is focusing, that the weapons have pegs on them and slot into here. So if I put him down with his bolter there and pick up this other blue Marine, we can see he's got a much larger las gun, and that comes out, and the bolter and that just swap around. So when you're starting a mission, you can choose to equip your characters with heavy weapons, which will slow them down, or lighter weapons, which will allow them to move much faster. So you've got some variety in your squad. Likewise, you've got your commander. If I can find a commander in here. Hello, commander. There's the blue commander. You can only just make out the difference because he's not wearing a helmet, whereas that one is. I'm not sure if the camera picked them up very well, but he's carrying a heavy bolter, and likewise his weapons swap out between his sword and power fist, the heavy bolter, and more medium load. And you've got a bunch of Marines for those. On the bad side, you've got Orks. You've got Gretchen. Actually look more Warhammer fantasy because they come with blunderbusses. So, we've got a Chaos Marine with his rocket launcher there, and the Chaos Marines swap out as well for different weapons. Who else have we got? Actions. What's that? There's a Genestealer. Very similar to the ones in Space Hulk. Actually, I like these ones slightly better. They're in a far better pose, and they put together slightly nicer. The slot works better. We've got the androids, which had never been shown in 40k before this point, and are obviously the inspiration for the Necrons, which were later introduced. They are very skeletal, Terminator-style, endoskeletal robots. I really like their long weapon with the bayonet on it. And the androids are very, very cool indeed. And finally, we have the Dreadnoughts. Actually, this Dreadnought's come apart. Can I find all the bits for him in here? There's his legs. So the legs slot onto the side. And we have the base here. And the feet slot into there. And there we have the Dreadnought. And likewise, if you're using a Dreadnought, because Dreadnoughts aren't in all the missions, you get to choose the different weapons. So the Dreadnought will have his heavy weapons. There I've equipped him with a flamer, a missile launcher, and he's got his 2 bolters there under his chin. And we have, for Mission Dreadnought, a much larger one with longer legs, and it has 4 positions for heavy weapons. So that will be absolutely devastating in combat. Now, the Dreadnoughts have far more health than everything else, so take a lot more in battle to take out. They are the sort of end-of-level nasties. Oh, I didn't realise I actually had 3 dreadnoughts. Oh, there's Chaos Commander. You can see he's slightly different to the ordinary Chaos Marine because they have horns that point out and his join in the middle. But basically he's the same. Are there any other monsters in here, or is that us? That's all the ones I can see. And we've got some cards over here. And these split up between event cards and equipment cards. So we have the event cards, which are, you may shoot at any one marine or commander miniature on a corridor square. Roll 1 heavy weapons die. Law of Chaos, choose 1 marine miniature, not a commander, and roll 1 heavy weapons die. If you roll a 3, replace the figure with a Chaos Space Marine if available. And these events happen for the alien player each round. And the equipment is chosen by the marine players as they start up. So the blues are the Ultramarines, and they've got a range of items, targeters, which give them, on the back it says, mark 1 of the 4 weapon boxes on your scanner. Any one marine who uses this weapon may try to improve his score by re-rolling 1 die after firing. Remains in use for the entire mission. Grenades, bolt pistols, a badly cut digital weapons card. You've got orders, so you can choose order cards as well, which allow your marines to have extra actions or extra firing turns. And you've got a variety there. So the red marines are the Blood Angels, and the yellows are the Imperial Fists. And you've got a bunch of equipment cards there. I'll slot that back in. And then finally, in the bag, we've got all the spare weapons. So a conversion gun there. There's the red laser rifle. We've got the tokens for blips, because the alien player, gets to place blips in rooms. So the Marines, until they enter that room, don't know what's in there. They just know there's a blip on their motion tracker, and then you turn it over, and it's android. And killing that will be worth 10 points. So you put it to the side, and when the marine player who kills that android then gets that, and that's part of their score at the end. And they get points for every alien they kill. We've got the dice. So we've got a bunch of white and red dice here. And the white dice have 4 zeros, a 2 and a 1 on them. And the red dice have a 3, a 2, a 1, and 3 zeros. So the red dice can roll much higher and stand a better chance of rolling a success anyway. And you have to roll over somebody's armor to be able to do damage. An alien dies if they receive a single point of damage. So do ordinary marines, whereas the commander has 6 health noted on the tracker, which goes down as he gets hurt. And what else do we have? Oh, the dreadnought has a certain amount of health as well. So let's have a look through the books. I'll scramble this stuff back in. It will fit in somehow. So we have the mission books. Let's show the book which comes with. So we've got the background story, the Age of Strife, the Space Marines, Space Marine equipment, assaulting Space Hulks, the campaign game, the Marine player. So you can see as you go through missions and you're successful, you get the rank cards and you get more orders. So you get more special abilities, the ability to order your people to move extra and take extra weapons turns. And you get honor badges for successfully achieving the goals, which allow you to choose more equipment. So there's no leveling of your characters, but you as a player levels and you can get more orders and more equipment. The alien player likewise gets up ranks as they succeed and get more reinforcement tokens, which they can bring into play during games. And we have the missions here. So we can see these are laid out just in a square. The primary mission token will be won by the Marine player who destroys the Dreadnought. So they have to search the map until the alien player decides to play out his Dreadnought token. And the Blood Angels go in from there, the Imperial Fists go from there, and the Ultramarines go in from there, and they start searching. And these say how you align each of the boards. So you can see that one's got an L-shaped corridor in the corner, so you'll place that up in that part of the map, etc, etc. And Mission 2. Primary mission token will be won by the Marine player who eliminates the Chaos Marine Commander. A very similar type of mission. The map is laid out slightly differently. And as we go on through them, they're mainly square, so it makes sense because that'll fit on a table. But then we get onto the later missions, and there's only 3 boards on that, and all 3 Marines are entering through there. The primary mission token will be won by the Marine player who gets the most of his Marines to the docking claw. Oh, so the Marines are actually entering from elsewhere, and they're trying to get out. They're trying to evacuate at this point. I thought there were more strange missions with peculiarly shaped maps. So, what have we got here? The different types of dreadnoughts, what weapons they've got. There we can see this map has the connecting corridor between the 2 parts. This map is laid out completely differently with sections in between and corridors leading off to a part. So the maps add to a variety of different plays. We've got the rulebook itself, the introduction and the outline of the game, choosing rules, starting the game, choosing different weapons, the Marines, order of play, so the Marine players go first, they move, they open doors, move on to new boards. Whenever they move on to a new board, that's when the alien player deploys their blips. So they can decide to put everything out very soon, or they can leave things later. Revealing blips, so when they move onto a square on which a line of sight can be traced to 1 or more blip tokens, those blips must be revealed. We've got line of sight explained, how to fire, what dice you've got, how the assault cannon works, how the plasma gun works, how the missile launcher works, and its blast radius, hand-to-hand combat, alien player's turn, moving blips, attacking with the aliens, eliminating Marines. We've got the Dreadnought, how it can pass through doors. Because it's too big to stop in a doorway, it must pass entirely through a door. We've got the Dreadnought example of how it moves, alien reinforcements, how they're added, completing the mission, and the end of the game and winning the game. And as I said, it's a very simplistic role-playing style game. It's very fun. The miniatures are fantastic. And I have to say, I absolutely adore this game. Space Crusade has provided me and my family with so much fun over the years. My youngest son, who appears in some of the videos with me, has flipped the table a few times on losing, because it can seem dreadfully unfair when the alien player reveals that the Dreadnought's right next to his team and not somebody else's. He, at a much younger age, felt like he was getting picked on, but that's the game. Anyway, as always, very many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like me doing these kind of things. But most of all, you look after yourselves, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.